Hey you Stygian Dogs, Happy New Year! It's January 3rd and that marks the release of issue number 6 of Conan the Barbarian from Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures. Twice delayed, now released. Let's take a look, starting with the covers. Cover A from Jay Lee, the hauntingly beautiful image of Conan before the ghostly pale-skinned image of the Queen of the Black Coast. Worshipped for her ferocity and beauty in equal measure, her death his greatest pain. Bêlit is the only person before whom Conan would bow. And this, cover B from Patch Zerker, Patch's second from this story arc and the second of his 4-cover series for this arc. And this, cover C from Dan Panosian, a wonderful illustration of Bêlit. Now I'd like to take a moment to bookend Dan Panosian's cover C with his cover number A from issue number 1. They're so complimentary, these are fantastic covers, I just dig them so much. And finally, a little silly, cover D from Joey Spiato, Conan the Barbarian, a little Samaria book, might make folks of my generation grin. That's it for the covers, let's take a look at the book itself. And here we go. I'll flip through the book, present a few close-ups of panels, I'll try not to read too much verbatim, and I'll outline the general plot and happenings. I want you to be curious and to grab your own copy. I want to give you a sense of how things look and to convey my excitement and a few summary thoughts. But be warned, if you want a pure reading experience, and I know you do, I would caution you about spoilers. If inclined, feel free to skip ahead to the conclusion. On the inside cover, we see an advertisement for Conan the Barbarian Volume 1, bound in Blackstone, trade paperback. This, of course, collects Conan the Barbarian Free Comic Book Day 2023 and issues 1 to 4. It's available for pre-order now. And opposite that, credits for the teams at Heroic Signatures and Titan Comics. Introduction by way of the Numidian Chronicles and the map highlighting Shadazar in Zamora, the location of the last issue's adventure, and the summary of events reminding us of Conan's quest to enter the Temple of Bel and to steal Taram's touch, recognized by Conan to be a shard of the dread Black Stone. Upon touching it, malevolent specters are unleashed. We return to Conan and Bêlit. Bêlit asks Conan if he fears the gods. Conan shares his thoughts, saying he would not tread on their shadows, some strong to harm, some offering aid, some to be feared, and some, like Bel, god of thieves, good. Jim Zub lets us know that Conan is naive in his certainty here, and that time makes fools of us all. A beautifully haunting set of panels from Zub and Doug Braithwaite here. There are no good gods, every god is a thief, heartless, cruel. If mortals dare gain their attention, it brings only ruin. I'll mention again that Braithwaite gives us an excellent Bêlit here, strong and sensuous, undoing the memory of lesser portrayals over the past decade or so. We continue in the tragic loss of his queen. Conan sees proof of spirit strength, raw and elemental. Proof of nether-laden realms and life beyond death. Conan the Barbarian, Thrice Marked for Death, Part 2, The Cursed. Grim Jim Zub, writer, diabolical Doug Braithwaite, artist, dangerous Diego Rodriguez, color artist, riotous Richard Starking, letterer, and merciless Matt Murray, editor. We return to the scene in the High Study. Spectres unleashed, taunting, touch the vessel and forfeit. Conan leaps to save Kamal. Chandra deftly dodges the demonic demand for flesh. Gref stands frozen in the chaos. The spirit's hand is plunged deep into the rogue's chest, striking like a frozen fire, burning with cold that will never leave him. In the chaos, the constant demand for flesh. Desperate, Kamal launches a pouch to the air to be met by Conan's sword, unleashing a gout of glittering dust, the silver buying time against the foul sorcery. The glory hounds flee into the labyrinth that is the Temple of Bel. Only discover Bel's faithful, stirred by the sounds of conflict. Too many? Not for Conan. Mortal foes with murder well in mind, this is his domain. A face removed, a forearm in flight, punctuated by Diego Rodriguez's deep maroon fountains of blood. So awesome, these foes will know only folly. The slaughter continues. Necks, limbs, and fingers caught in a whirling wheel of death, an explosion of violence impressive enough to give even his allies pause as they catch a glimpse of a true Cimmerian born. Lured to the stench of bloodshed, the specters return. The vessel is not yours, it awaits greater power, your flesh is ours. Both Gref and Chandra are unable to evade the icy claws of the demons as the specters declare, "We see it so clear now, no wonder you covet the vessel. You have already felt our master's touch." And the reader is reminded of the tentacled emanation of Tulsa Doom in the Vile Lake of Souls from issue number 4. I love Rodriguez's color in this bottom panel, deviating from much of the rest of the book. Considering Conan to be worthy, the deathly figures fade. Conan and the hounds make a swift exit. The theft against the god of thieves, a slight not soon to be forgotten. The glory hounds meet Yakir the Found to exchange Taram's touch for the promised gold. Yakir observes that it is empty and refuses to pay for an incomplete artifact. Conan is fed up with Yakir's conniving ways and presses the original terms of the heist. Yakir backs down, understanding that they've escaped, and telling the thieves to spend the money while they can. When Kamal inquires as to what Conan will do with his share, Conan responds, "The same damn things I did before this accursed undertaking." Drink my fill. Ale and women to numb the throbbing ache of the past, his mirth turned to melancholy. Conan beds Chandra, animalistic urges shared and satisfied. Rising from a lover's repose, Chandra falls strangely silent, her thoughts retreating to somewhere distant and dark. And decidedly deadly. Next issue, Haunted by the Past. And so ends issue number 6 of Conan the Barbarian from Heroic Signatures and Titan Comics. The Glory Hound seemingly doomed, and Conan further ensnared by the Black Stone's entangling menace. I thoroughly enjoyed what Zub and team gave us in this issue. Between the sex and glorious violence, a well-earned mature rating, I'm decidedly enthusiastic about Doug Braithwaite and Diego Rodriguez's work on this second arc. I can't get enough. And what if issue number 7? Haunted by the Past? Perhaps alluding to Conan's further contrition over the death of Bêlit? Or might we encounter Brissa and learn more of the Black Stone's lamentable legacy? Just a few weeks away now. On the opposite page, a reminder that the Savage Sword of Conan is coming in February. Joe Jusko's cover here is remarkable, and I can't wait to see the finished artwork from Max von Fofter. 2024 is going to be an epic Conan year. And don't forget that we're also getting the first installment of Patch Zerker's Solomon King story in this issue. I'm pretty stoked for that. On the next page, we get part 6 of Jeffrey Shanks' Robert E. Howard and His Age is Undreamed Of. This time around, Jeff gives us an overview of Conan's time in the kingdoms of Zamora, the lands where Conan practiced the trade of thievery in those early years following his departure from Cimmeria. Conan's adventures as a thief are most famously presented in The Tower of the Elephant, The God in the Bowl, and Rogues in the House. Shanks goes on to speak of the thief-rogue archetype in fantastic fiction and the possible influences upon Howard's writing. As always, I recommend reading the Jeffrey Shanks essays in full. Following the essay, the chainmail letters page, and a glimpse of Alex Horley's cover for issue number 8. Next up is the covers gallery. Following that, the back cover presents an advertisement for the Funcom properties. Having thoroughly enjoyed Braithwaite's debut in issue number 5, I was eager to get into issue number 6. How will Conan and the Glory Hounds make their escape from the Temple of Bel? What of the unleashed specters? What further mysteries of the Black Stone will be revealed, and what of Bêlit? How will Conan's greatest love, his Queen of the Black Coast, be incorporated into this next issue? We are immediately and satisfyingly introduced to Bêlit in issue number 6, a more naive Conan in a happier time, learning of love and loss, and of life beyond death. Doug Braithwaite's depiction of Bêlit is the best in over a decade, faithfully honoring the Queen of the Black Coast. The Spectre's lust for flesh and the group's mad flight from the temple was worth the price of admission. Diego Rodriguez's colors contrasting the ghostly green auras against the darkened, shadow-shrouded mystery of the temple's halls, punctuated by the velvet red tones of blood barring Conan's escape, just masterful. Jim Zub continues to deepen the connection to the Black Stone, building his tower of mystery, while Richard Starking's lettering punctuates everything in the book. In many ways, issue 6 may be my favorite so far. This second arc, and certainly this second book of that arc, benefits from the hard work done in the first arc with Roberto de la Torre. If there is to be a criticism of that first arc, it might be that this reader got caught up in untangling what Zub and Shanks were setting in motion, dealing with Brissa, this new and different Pict, scrutinizing the elements of lore that would go into further building Howard's Ages Unpredicted, of how these things might inform what we see in this new Conan title. The first 4 issues, oh, they were wonderful, but this reader felt a certain weight to their promise. Issue number 5, and especially this, issue number 6, make no demands of the reader. The only demand made by the creative team is to have fun. Jump in, buckle up, and catch a glimpse of a true Cimmerian born. To behold Conan, that savage warrior that can never be tamed, in his most sensual and violent glory. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing, and until next time, take it easy, you Stygian Dogs.